Here's a secret your shampoo bottle will never tell you. The brands sitting in your shower right now, the ones you've trusted for years. Some of them contain ingredients linked to hair loss, chemical burns, and scalp damage so severe it ended up in court. They know exactly what's in those formulas. They're banking on you never flipping the bottle around and reading the back. Today I'm naming 7 shampoos women over 60 should stop using immediately and 3 replacements that actually protect aging hair instead of destroying it. But first, you need the one rule that makes all of this click. The rule is simple. Every shampoo bottle is selling you 2 separate things, and they have nothing to do with each other. The first is the formula, the actual ingredients touching your scalp. The second is the image, the packaging, the scent, the name, the promise printed on the front. The industry has trained you to believe these are the same thing. They aren't. A shampoo can look premium, smell luxurious, and quietly destroy your hair with every wash. Once you can separate what's inside from what's on the label, the entire game changes. And these 7 brands are where that game has been rigged against you the hardest. Start with OGX Biotin and Collagen. This shampoo was marketed to make hair thicker and stronger. Women bought it because biotin sounds like a health ingredient. Instead, some of them developed bald patches. The culprit is a preservative called DMDM hydantoin, a chemical that slowly releases formaldehyde into the formula over time. The lawsuits piled up fast. Scalp irritation, excessive shedding, chemical burns. Johnson & Johnson announced a reformulation in 2021, but old bottles with the original formula kept sitting on shelves long after that announcement. The product promised growth and delivered loss. The label said strength. The ingredient list said formaldehyde. Trisema Keratin Smooth pulls the exact same trick with the exact same ingredient. DMDM hydantoin, the formaldehyde releaser, sitting right there in the formula of a brand that spent decades positioning itself as the smart salon quality choice at drugstore prices. The keratin promise sounds luxurious. Silky, manageable, smooth hair without the salon bill. What some users actually got was the opposite. Brittle strands falling out in clumps during washing. Hair thinning so noticeable it changed how they looked in the mirror. The brand is facing legal action across multiple states for allegedly causing hair loss, baldness, and scalp irritation. Some complaints go beyond a bad hair day. People reported chemical burns on their scalps severe enough to need medical attention. And here is the part that should make you furious. Unilever, the parent company, had already settled similar lawsuits before. They knew the ingredient was a problem. Yet products with that same preservative kept appearing on shelves as if nothing had happened. For women over 60 who trusted Tresemme for years, maybe even decades, this hits differently. The betrayal isn't just about one bad bottle. It's about a brand that earned long-term loyalty and repaid it with a formula it had every reason to know was causing harm. Pantene works differently from the first 2, but the damage is just as real. Instead of a single toxic preservative, Pantene plays a longer game. The formula loads up on silicones that coat every strand in a plastic-like layer. For the first 2 weeks, your hair feels incredible. Smooth, shiny, manageable. You think you finally found the one. That smoothness is a costume. The silicones aren't repairing anything. They're wrapping each hair in a synthetic shell that looks healthy on the outside, while the real strand underneath gets no moisture, no nourishment, nothing. After a few months, the buildup turns your hair dull, heavy, and lifeless. It refuses to hold a style because you're not styling hair anymore. You're styling plastic. Meanwhile, the sulfates in the same formula are stripping your scalp raw. Your scalp panics, overproduces oil to compensate, and suddenly you've got greasy roots and coated, straw-like ends at the same time. A problem the shampoo created that makes you reach for more shampoo. Then there's the shedding. Multiple women reported their hair loss stopped completely after ditching Pantene. Not reduced, stopped. Like turning off a faucet for women over 60 already dealing with naturally thinning hair and a scalp producing less oil with every passing year, this formula accelerates every single problem it claims to fix. The parabens tucked into the ingredient list add hormone disruption to the pile. Pantene's entire business model is the 2-week honeymoon. It sells you the first impression and counts on you blaming your own hair when the long-term damage sets in. You think your hair is failing. Your shampoo is failing your hair. Suave is the budget trap. When you're watching every dollar, a $3 bottle of shampoo feels like a responsible choice. Suave built an entire empire on that instinct. Buy smart, save the difference for the things that actually matter. Healthcare, grandchildren, peace of mind. Except that $3 bottle contains the same formaldehyde-releasing preservative we keep finding. DMDM hydantoin again. Class action lawsuits describe hair turning so brittle it snapped like dry pasta. Strands so damaged and unmanageable that women stopped recognizing their own reflection. And here's the part that makes it worse than just a bad product. Suave allegedly knew about these problems and kept marketing the shampoo as safe and gentle anyway. That word gentle printed right there on the bottle, while the formula inside was chemically burning scalps. The cruel math is what really stings. Repairing the kind of damage these products cause runs into hundreds of dollars in salon treatments, specialized products, and sometimes dermatologist visits. The woman who bought Suave to save $3 ends up spending 10 times that trying to undo what it did. For women on fixed incomes who were trying to be financially careful, Suave exploited the exact responsibility it pretended to reward. The cheapest bottle on the shelf turned out to be the most expensive mistake in the aisle. Head & Shoulders is a different kind of problem because the product actually works. The zinc pyrithione in the formula genuinely knocks out dandruff flakes. Your father probably used it, maybe your grandfather too. And for dandruff, it delivers. But while it's solving that one problem, it is quietly building a trap you may never escape. The formula is loaded with aggressive sulfates that strip your scalp's natural moisture barrier with every wash. Your scalp produces oil for a reason. It's protection. Remove that layer daily, and your scalp goes into emergency mode, overproducing oil to replace what was taken. The cycle starts there, but it doesn't end there. A stripped scalp dries out. Dry scalp flakes. More flakes send you back to the anti-dandruff bottle. More sulfates strip more oil. More dryness creates more flaking. You use more product. The shampoo is solving a problem it is simultaneously making worse, and you never notice because the immediate relief hides the long-term dependence. Then there's the word fragrance, sitting innocently on the ingredient list. Companies are not legally required to disclose what's actually hiding inside that single word. It can mask dozens of individual chemicals, some of which trigger reactions from mild itching all the way to full-blown scalp dermatitis. After 60, your skin is already producing less oil naturally. Your scalp's protective barrier is thinner and more reactive than it was at 30. Adding aggressive sulfates to that situation is not cleansing. It is demolition. Many long-term users find they can never stop using anti-dandruff shampoo because their scalps have completely lost the ability to regulate themselves. That is not loyalty to a product. That is dependency by design. Garnier Fructis is the brand that perfected the art of looking natural while being anything but. The packaging is covered in pictures of avocados and honey. The name has the word fruit built right into it. Everything about the bottle screams wholesome, clean, straight from the earth. The formula inside tells a completely different story. Synthetic fragrance compounds, color dyes, and harsh preservatives that have nothing to do with any garden. That single word fragrance printed on the ingredient list is doing more hiding than a teenager's browser history. It can conceal dozens of individual chemicals, some of them endocrine disruptors that your scalp absorbs directly with every wash. The allergic reactions start small, a little itching, some redness you dismiss as nothing. Then your scalp decides it has had enough. Contact dermatitis develops, sometimes severe enough to require a dermatologist visit. Years of daily exposure accumulate like compound interest on a debt you didn't know you were carrying. For sensitive aging skin, these synthetic fragrance cocktails are especially brutal. The whole blends line is textbook greenwashing. Mother Nature on the label, Mother Chemical Corporation in the bottle. Then there is mane and tail, and this one crosses the line from misleading into absurd. This product was formulated for horses, actual horses. Somewhere along the way, humans saw a shiny equine coat and decided that was the answer to their hair problems. It wasn't. Horsehair is thick and coarse, built to survive rolling through dirt and galloping through rain. Human hair over 60 is delicate, thinning, and needs gentle pH balance, not an industrial-strength protein formula designed for a 1,200-pound animal. Lawsuits reported severe scalp irritation, permanent hair loss in affected areas, and chemical burns requiring dermatological treatment. The same formaldehyde-releasing preservatives appear here too. Using horse shampoo on aging human hair is the most extreme version of the lie running through this entire list. Harsher does not mean stronger. It means damage. Now that the shelf is cleared, here is what actually belongs on it. These 3 brands pass the only test that matters. Flip the bottle, read the ingredients, and find a formula built for aging hair without a single one of the toxic shortcuts we just covered. The first is Altera Caviar Anti-Aging. This is the premium option and it earns the price. The formula is specifically engineered for hair over 50, the thinning, brittle, stubborn kind that starts acting like it has its own agenda. Caviar extract delivers omega fatty acids that actually penetrate the hair shaft instead of coating it in synthetic plastic like Pantene. 0 sulfates, 0 parabens, 0 formaldehyde-releasing preservatives. It runs $30 to $40 a bottle, but the formula is concentrated. One bottle stretches 2 to 3 months easily. Users report stronger hair, less breakage, and better manageability within weeks. If your budget allows it, this is the gold standard. If luxury pricing isn't realistic, BioTerra is the proof that safe ingredients don't require a second mortgage. $7 to $10 a bottle, sulfate-free, paraben-free, sitting right there in your local drugstore. The ingredient list reads like a garden catalog instead of a chemistry hazard sheet. No formaldehyde releasers hiding in the fine print. They offer targeted formulas for thinning, dryness, and volume, so you're addressing your actual problem instead of gambling with a one-size-fits-all bottle. Users consistently say their hair feels clean without that stripped, squeaky sensation, which is actually damage happening in real time. The third option is Pureology. Originally designed for color-treated hair, it turns out that the same gentle, sulfate-free approach that protects hair color also protects aging hair beautifully. Vegan formulas, no harsh preservatives, concentrated enough that a small amount goes a long way. 3 brands, 3 price points, every one of them built on formula instead of fragrance and theater. This was never about memorizing 7 bad names. It was about learning to flip the bottle. Once you can spot DMDM Heidentoen, silicone buildup tricks, undisclosed fragrance blends, and aggressive sulfates on any label, you stop being a target in every aisle of every store. The brands are not afraid of losing one sale. They are afraid of you learning to read the back of the bottle, because a customer who can tell the formula from the packaging never falls for the markup again. Subscribe if you want the rest of what this industry is hiding. Next time, I am going deeper.